Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here, the final of the London Sevens, New Zealand in their 100th final they did just mention, which is absolutely incredible. And also Australia in there. This is actually going to be the 10th or 11th time that these two sides face off. And it should be a very exciting one. That is for the final, of course. I'm nervous. Like, I'm from New Zealand, but Australia, like, I have a soft spot for them as well, which I know is something that a lot of people get annoyed about because, of course, we're supposed to not like each other in that Trans-Tasman rivalry, but this game's going to be epic, and hopefully it does live up to the expectations. We just saw an absolute classic between Fiji and Samoa. Perhaps we get a repeat of that between Australia and New Zealand. We have got MH Joy, Ollie, and also Nathan in the chat. Welcome in, everyone. Hope you are all doing well. At the moment in New Zealand, we are sitting 5 a.m., but I was not going to be missing this game or any of the matches of the Sevens New Zealand. For this matchup, they have got Sam Dixon, Dylan Collier, Kitione Vai, then also Regan Ware, Naroni McGarvey Black, Brady Rush, and Leroy Carter. That is the starting lineup for the Kiwis. Then for Australia, it will be Nick Maloof, Nathan Lawson, Henry Patterson, who's been playing terrific in the last little while. Dietrich Roach scoring an important try in their last game up against the Samoans. Corey Toole, Ben Dowling, and then Matthew Gonzalez as the last name in that starting lineup for Australia. A few big names off the bench. Joe Webber with that experience, matching up with Maurice Longbottom. And same prayers for New Zealand to beat Fiji, though no small feat. And there as well, says John. And also we have got there, let's go New Zealand, says Tux there as well. So do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, where are you watching this live stream from around the world? Have we got many Kiwis in attendance who have either stayed up all night or got up nice and early to witness this game? But yeah, like I mentioned, 100th final game for New Zealand, which is absolutely crazy with the time that they have had near the top of the bunch. But they were talking about the fact that in the previous 10 encounters in finals, New Zealand have won 8, Australia have won 2, and also Australia have been in 7 London finals, but they have only won 1 in the past, so they will be open to turn around. And also we'll get there, South Africa, says Danley DeWee there. And also we've got the coming New Zealand win Australia. We all need a good end to the weekend, says Hanley now. And now the national anthems have been sung. The game is just about to begin. And how are you feeling, Amish? Some solid hours over the weekend. Salute, Amish. Says Nathan, I'm doing all right. I feel like as soon as I close my eyes, I am out like a light for I think I get 9 hours, and then George is coming round so that we can film tomorrow. So that is going to be the next step of the week. But then we've got the quarterfinals of the next competition and also the test match between New Zealand and England coming up. So hopefully the voice recovers. I'll catch up on some sleep and we'll be rearing to go. But that's the thing. When the rugby's on, for some reason, my brain just forgets that sleep is a thing. And I just keep on flying through it. As Owen Celebro says, Nathan. And as Owen, I do appreciate all the support you've shown over the weekend, Nathan. You've been here a majority of random hour live streams. So it is usually appreciated. But now it is going to be Dietrich Roach kicking off this one for Australia, getting us underway for this cup final. And that one has not gone 10. Now it has. And Kitione Vai has to try and go down the wing. And a couple missed tackles there straight away from Australia running onto that ball. Leroy Carter has put it down and it's gone into touch. And also, yes, some long hours, mate. And Northeast England making Sunday dinner in there. And also you go, Irish. And also we have got the, I know, right, says Nathan. Yeah, so I guess that's the thing. Even though I'm up at random hours, we see a lot of familiar faces also up at random hours. Well, those on a Let's Go New Zealand versus Australia, always tough competition. It certainly is. And an early lead shall knock out Maurice Longbottom and the Aussies. Says Emma Choi, I'm also praying for a New Zealand champion in London Sevens. But 100 times we have seen New Zealand in a final. Now passing the ball back across Australia in possession. Corey Toole on the 22. Cut down straight away by Leroy Carter. Good pace shown by the young number 10. Dietrich Roach on the halfway line. Or sorry, on the 22 line, I should say. Corey Toole now has to play halfback. Gonzalez goes short side. Maloof. Oh, there was a bit of head contact there between Collier and also Nathan Lawson. They might have to keep an eye on him there. It looked like it was quite a stiff blow. Now Corey Toole, bit of a slip, and it's actually worked out for him. And that is the thing. Sometimes the slip can always be very favourable. It's a great chase from McGarvey Black. Good shot there on the spine of Corey Toole as well. And it looks like Sam Dixon trying to get the turnover here for the Kiwis. Only 1 minute and a half through this game. It bounces back onto the side of New Zealand, but there was a little knock on in the process, and Maccabi Black is making a face as if he couldn't quite believe what he has heard. But it is going to be the scrum feed now for Australia. Just love this as well, says Stanley. And also, you go, and also praying for a New Zealand champion in the sevens. But Corey Toole, brilliant step there. And then it was a good shot from Kiti Onavai. And I think without that big shot in the spine of Corey Toole, perhaps it wouldn't have gone as smoothly for New Zealand. And head-to-head, they met in the opening round of the weekend, and New Zealand were able to win that game 24 points to 19. Now Maccabi Black takes the quick tap after winning the free kick in the scrum. New Zealand trying to use this back line that they've got plenty of pace in. Regan Ware now down the wheel, or down the wing, I should say. He was hit hard, and I think it was the neck region, so he doesn't look like he's too flashy, and he stayed down in a ball at the moment, Regan Ware. So New Zealand playing with only 6 players on the field. Kiti Onavai. Now off to Sam Dixon. Little pop pass up to Dylan Collier. Huge amount of experience between those two individuals. Leroy Carter helping protect this ball here. Sam Dixon once again going back across to Onavai. And it's a risky tactic for New Zealand to continue playing with just the 6 men. Definitely if there's a mistake here. Nicely done by Leroy Carter. Sam Dixon gets the penalty. Right, they will allow themselves to go back to 7. As Sam Dixon, he looked around, he looked to the left, looked to the right, counted a few people, and he went, hang on. Got to get the fingers out for this one. That's only 6. Whereabouts is our friend Regan Ware? He was too busy lying down, unfortunately, after taking a good old shot on the jaw, I believe it was. Taking some deep breaths. I think he's got to go off for maybe an HIA, I would be thinking. Currently 0-0 between these two sides. Normally a pretty close game when these two sides do play off. New Zealand looking for touch in the form of Naroni Maccabi Black. Gets it out, about 45 metres out now for the Kiwis. 3.5 minutes left in this first half also. New Zealand have won 8 out of the 10 cup finals against Australia, so the odds are in their favour, but Australia, they were able to get themselves a big win over Samoa, 26 points to 14 in the semis. They'll have a relatively, I'd say a high confidence, but it's always trans-Tasman footy at its finest when these two sides play off and it's close. Kiti Onavai dragged down nicely. Currently, New Zealand, they've had a majority of the possession in the first little while. Now running sideways, it's going to be Brady Rush once he offload to Leroy Carter. Tries to go through, and him and Corey Toole, I think, will have a good old battle. That's a penalty straight away to Australia. They take the tap, and so do they 22. Is Mickelson still playing for New Zealand? He is not. I haven't actually seen him for any of these games since the Tokyo Olympics, so I think he might have retired from the Seven Circuit. But they have still got, they've got a couple of those veterans, the likes of Maccabi Black. He's been there a little while. Also Dylan Collier, Sam Dixon. I think they mentioned that Sam Dixon is the only player who was actually with the team the last time that these two sides played off. That's a clear push in the back. And that's going to be the penalty there to New Zealand. He did play at the man, not the ball, with a big shove. And Corey Toole looks a little bit disappointed, but Leroy Carter was trying to get on it. Oh, there was a little bit of a push, but it wasn't as huge. Or has he retired? I think he's retired. But Andrew Newstubb, we haven't really seen him too much recently, but he played for Tasman in the Bunnings NBC. So Mickelson may be the same. Maybe he's playing a little bit more rugby union somewhere or into the coaching role, because I know that Dan Norton actually has a huge opportunity to help coach China's Sevens team, which will be interesting to see how they develop in the near future. But now, Naroni Maccabi Black sitting on the halfway line currently for New Zealand. 2 minutes left in this first half. Only the 3 penalties so far, 2 against Australia, 1 against New Zealand going up. And they've gone to the back, nicely taken there by Brady Rush. Flicks it out the back, risky, and the ball just doesn't seem like it's bouncing the way that they wanted to, although that's worked out for Leroy Carter. Now it's a foot race. Brilliant chase there from, I believe that was Nathan Lawson. Now Josh Turner gets over the ball and wins the penalty as well. Brilliantly done from the number 7. He wants to take it quickly. He's just holding Leroy Carter down. The referee just can't quite work out what's going on there between Leroy Carter and Josh Turner. I think it was pretty much the English referee said, look, if you're going to hold him down, he's probably not going to be the happiest chappy around. And Australia can move to first on the series standings if they win the title in London. But now Dietrich Roach about to kick this one for touch. And I was mentioning during the Ireland versus South Africa game that I hadn't seen a game be 0-0 at halftime. I couldn't remember one anyway. And this game could be very similar if it does sit that way in a minute and a half. But that was a brilliant chase from Nathan Lawson. The big man just took some real big strides And brilliant acceleration in the process. But Australia now, Matthew Gonzalez about to throw it in. It's going to become a free kick now in favour of the Australians for New Zealand, closing the gap at line-out time. So that saves them from trying to have to win that line-out now. Australia inside of their 22, passing it back across. Dietrich Roach, nice pass on the inside to Gonzalez. No, in fact, it's a youngster at number 2 for this game. Ben Dowling, ball off to Josh Turner, who's dragged down. That ball's knocked around all over the place. But now, once again, going across, I see a hand up out wide. And I believe it is Henry Patterson calling for it. He has scored a huge amount of tries throughout the season. Matthew Gonzalez, ball on the inside to Patterson. And it is going to be the try now for Australia. Using up a bit more time on the clock as well. Australia strike first in this final in London. And that is his 5th try of London as well. That is huge for a man his size. He just keeps on scoring as well. It was a good run initially from the youngster Ben Dowling. And then they did decide to use their backline there. Australia worked out. And then Gonzalez, nice inside ball. Australia just found that gap. New Zealand a little bit too wide there. And the defending also both getting the 2-on-1, trying to stop Gonzalez. And they didn't quite see that ball on the inside opening up. And also we go, Aotearoa in early days, let's go Black. And there, as I says, Chief, yes, still only the 1 try in this one and also no nil. All at halftime, says JSP. That is very true, which is good news. There's nil all at halftime always feels very strange. But that is going to now be halftime. And it is 7-0 in favour of Australia. So a good start to the match for them. New Zealand actually had probably more of that position in the first half, but Australia making the most of that opportunity. And now they are going to be able to get themselves in the lead. But they did mention that if Australia do get themselves first, they will move to first on the World Sevens circuit for the ranking. So I believe at the moment, Argentina and South Africa are 2 sides that are above them, but they might be able to change that. But currently Australia in this one, they've had 23 passes completed. Errors 1-on-1, offloads 3 from New Zealand. Also, did they get the conversion? They did indeed. So it is 7-0 currently, and also water for New Zealand Hydrate. So here's Nathan there. I bet you I'm going to drink like 2 or 3 litres of water tomorrow. Just flat out sculling the stuff, try and stop my voice from disappearing. But I'm also going to have to do my honey and lemon and whatnot, make sure that it does stick around a little bit more, because we've got a few videos to film, which is always the slightly more tricky side of things. And also Blumen spell check. I knew what you meant for that one, because yeah, spelling overall, like that's my phone autocorrects everything I try and type. Even if I've never typed a word before, it's like, you meant this. And I'm like, no. What for Hamish, hydrate. And as I says, Nathan, and also they really hope that New Zealand can get the champion, says Nicholas. And also New Zealand subs will be the difference, says Chase. And yeah, they've got Joe Weber, Rokali Soa. He was able to score himself a late try in that game up against Fiji. Caleb Tangitao, that man's holding his banana. But don't panic. It is a massive inflatable one. And also we have got that not spell check, predictive decks. And as says John, Caleb Tangitao, one to watch out for in the later stages also. And then saying that they went to Josh Turner extremely early for the Australians. Seems like everyone is dancing at the moment. Oh, she's fallen over. That wasn't good. I think she was dancing and then she just kind of ducked down. Also, we got that as a real sexy voice, brother. There's also Tangitao as a speed merchant. Merchant, sorry. And yes, speedy boy. And he should be able to use it in the second half. But Rokali Soa will get us underway for the second half for New Zealand. They need to fight back. Goes up high. Oh, it's taken in the air by Australia. Now, normally that would almost become a penalty, but now it's stolen by New Zealand. Dylan Collier, sorry. As it back across, Regan Ware gives it to Leroy Carter. New Zealand want to get themselves a try at the start of this half where South Africa come. They finished 5th in the end as they were able to beat the Irish for their playoff game. So they did finish 5th, and they've still got a chance of being able to finish 1st overall for the World Series. But they will have to have a good leg in LA. It's a penalty now for New Zealand. Waiting for this ball. Rokali Soa using his feet, and he has been able to go through. Normally, you would use your feet if you're running somewhere, but Rokali Soa has been able to score the try. Nice little bit of footwork, the step, and now it's straight between the posts and New Zealand back into this game. I feel a New Zealand try coming here, says Chief. You are 100% correct for that one. But nicely done. Initially, Dylan Collier tried to put the pressure on, then Sam Dixon with the counter ruck, and that is where the turnover came from New Zealand. Rokali Soa, I mentioned when he was coming on the field, he's a game changer, and he slammed that ball down like there was no tomorrow, like he was going for the slam dunk, trying to get his side towards the title. And now converts his own try, so now the score is going to be 7-all between these two sides. They're a little bit slow. There we go. Now it is added to New Zealand, and we are not 13 minutes through this game. I should mention we are actually only about maybe 9, so it's a little bit ahead. They want to also press South Africa lost too much experience at once, too many youngsters. And there says LB. Yeah, having Selvin Davids out was a big enough blow as it is, but then also losing a few of those other big players. I think it was one of those ones that maybe, like you said, they might have put a few too many players in at once, see whether or not it would work out because of such a good record leading up to it. Oh, that was almost a high shot on Patterson, and because of it, it is an advantage now in favour of the Australians. I'm looking around for Corey Toole, but I think he might have gone off the field again, which is good news for New Zealand because he is too quick. And I was very good. Is this the cup final? Says Repent. It is indeed. So whoever wins this one will end up getting themselves the gold for London. Dietrich Roach looking for the offload there. It's a bit loose, and it is going to be the knock on the ground. The crowd won't be too happy with it. And look, that ball has gone away. Oh, no advantage for New Zealand. And Rocco Lisol was through a gap, and he put the ball down. This is the cup final. It is indeed. And yeah, New Zealand says John. But it was initially a knock on. Then on the ground, he tried to throw the ball back. And New Zealand, that could have been the try. Thanks, John. So here's a repent there. Oh, we're now only about 25 metres out here for New Zealand. So the third place game, it did go the way of Fiji. So currently the way that it is sitting for the kind of rankings, it was sixth place Ireland, fifth place South Africa, fourth place Samoa, third place Fiji, and then now it is going to be the final, and whoever wins this will be ranked number 1. It's another advantage to New Zealand. And Rocco Lisoa passes it off. New Zealand using this one quickly now. Nice ball off to Leroy Carter. His knee just taken out from underneath him. Sam Dixon gets to the breakdown quickly. Rocco Lisoa, that man is lightning on his toes. Now, nice step from Dylan Collier. Leroy Carter fends him. And that is going to be another try. He's sticking out his tongue. He's getting excited, but it's still early on. If you're omnious, come on, boys. And there's ominous, sorry, not omnious. What is it? Oh, an omnivore is someone who only eats plants, isn't it? Or that's normally describing dinosaurs. Or a vegan, I guess, now. And also, but 2 tournament will be excluded Malaga and Seville for overall standings as a new official rule, to be fair for New Zealand and Fiji, says Juju. So, yeah, at the moment, I believe it's between Australia, South Africa, Argentina, and Ireland, I think, are the 4 that could end up taking it, and New Zealand would have to win quite a few more. And also, is that Leroy Carter from Bay of Plenty? I believe so. I know that there is a Leroy Carter for Bay of Plenty, so I think it is. I always thought that Leroy Carter had a bit of an afro from the Bay of Plenty side, though. And also, I'm very tired at work today, says John. Yeah, it's going to be tough. And also, I smoke plants, says Chief. But yeah, I think it is the same guy, if I'm not wrong, but I could be. Now it's going back. Australia have got this one currently, 14 points. 2-7 also. Congrats for reaching 12K, brother, says Sebastian. I do appreciate you, mate. And yeah, the Sevens, of course. Geez, that's a good run from Henry Patterson. I almost showed off me double chin there, but he's going to be going in. It's a try for Australia. Oh, dirty shot in the spine. But that's going to be nicely done by Australia. And also John Pulisicki. But yeah, thank you very much, Sebastian. Do appreciate you, mate, throughout all of the random hours of the night. Like, that's the thing. It may be random hours of the night for us now, but you're always up in the early matches. Well, I have no idea what we're doing for 12,000. I think we were probably going to do some sort of little thingy as a celebration to watch the Champions League yesterday. I did see the score, but I didn't get to see the matchup take place. Is that Real Madrid versus Liverpool, I assume, rather than the Champions Cup with Leinster and La Rochelle, maybe for that one. But now, nicely done. And he goes down, scores the try, 14-14. Who's going to take it? This game might go for about 10 years, maybe. And also we got the thumbs up from Chief, and that one is now going to make the score 14-0. Still could go either way in the last moment. Still 2 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Maurice Longbottom kicks it off. Nicely taken there by McGarvey Black. Nicole helping him out now, Kitty Onivai. And this is where legends are made. I know that that's a song, or like the lyrics of a song, but these youngsters, you want to be that one who runs in the last strike. Could it be maybe Caleb Tangitau? Could be Leroy Carter, or it could be an Australian, because Corey Toole has now got the ball back. Oh, it's almost intercepted, and now it's gone back. Now Dylan Collier using his size. He's in a foot race. He didn't see the man with him. And now passing it back across. No, instead, going to be taking it on himself from Sol. On the halfway line now. New Zealand have got the position with 1 minute left. Now McGarvey Black trying to use some silky skills with the footwork. Passing it back across like they're saying there will be a little bit of extra time if it does stay that way. And it looks like there's a Kiwi down, which means there's a massive gap, which is brilliantly done by, I believe that was Nicole, because he did find the offload right when he needed to. I remember when you were on 2.5K, I didn't have control over Muppets back then. Our times change, says Sebastian. Yeah, like that's the thing. I looked at our like thingy-mabob, like for our goal. I had it written down on my phone, and it was like, get to 1,000 by the World Cup. I think I aimed a bit low, possibly. And also, I woke up this morning to a bloke in a Santa suit, coffee needed. Says Eric there. Yeah, no, that was me. Might have got a bit. Well, the thing is, people would have thought I was intoxicated, but really I was just overtired. So I was like, I'll be Santa. Might as well. And Liverpool is my team, says JSB there. Caleb Tangitau making his way out onto the field. New Zealand, they have got 28 seconds left and 6 months early, Eric. And there says Chief, although I was dressed as Santa a little while ago for that Western Force versus Hurricanes live stream yesterday. And it's 0-0 again. There's JSB there. Now McGarvey Black goes back. It looks like Solo trying to work hard. Hanging on to it now for New Zealand. Rocco Lisa. My heart's slowly starting to elevate in the right now. Caleb Tangitau. Nicely done, like they're saying. His mum is in the crowd. Corey Tall trying to get that turnover, unable to do so. The referee has to duck out of the way. Now New Zealand. Rocco Lisa passes it off. Backline movement, no McGarvey Black. Now with a couple steps, we are after the full-time siren, ladies and gentlemen. Now the offload. Once again, Rocco Lisa. He's got pace. Doesn't get the offload. He tries to flick it off to Kitty on Vai. Now Dylan Collier still on the halfway line for New Zealand. If Australia can intercept this, they will probably be able to score themselves a try. But New Zealand for now, it's going to be in the hands of Caleb Tangitau. And he's going to the wing. He is too quick. No, he's not. He's gone into touch. We're going to extra time. And now extra time is on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. And Distracted Boy says, Jeffrey, and also we get the All Blacks says up the mile over 1K by the Rugby World Cup. Surely you didn't set the goal that low, especially given the commitment. Says Sebastian, well, we had like no idea because we were doing Rugby Challenge at the time. So we were just like, you know, we'll just make occasional videos maybe once a week. At that time, I didn't realize I was going to like upload Rugby Challenge for a full like 6 months straight every day or something along those lines. 60 Santa 2. This is Nazi Williams. Extra time it is. Extra time. Extra time. I'm losing my mind. I dropped my pen, but now I got it back. Right, here we go. Extra time on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. Fitting way to end it, really. And also, ET phone home says JSB. Well, says Ripin. And what a game. Let's go. Our outro got a hemorrhoid, says Nazi Williams. Right. You're playing right to left. Thank you. Is the goals. So the handshake between the coaches and how long do they get? It's pretty much, I believe is it extra time or golden point? I think it's extra time. So I think it's maybe 3 minutes or 5 minute halves, something along those lines. This is actually one of the first games that I've had of extra time in a very long time. And also feed Tangitau winning try, says Chief. Yeah, he looked dangerous down the wing for that one. That is for sure. But now I'm hoping they will explain how long extra time is. It's either 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Is it a golden point or a set amount of time? I believe it's a set amount of time. Competition will be between Argentina, South Africa, and Fiji for the World Series. And then release the Ben Hamish. It wants freedom. And there says Eric and also, okay. And also, is it first point scored? Actually, is it? It might, now that I'm thinking about it, it might be. I might have this completely wrong. Let's do this. New Zealand says Ruckus. And I was like, sorry for the dry jokes, peeps. Just flag Kiwis. Says Nazi Williams. No worries at all. Hey, it's Caleb Tangitau's mum at this stage. She is open to see her boy get a win and try of this match. New Zealand to win, says Marcus Jordan. So, New Zealand from right to left, swap over. They have got it around the wrong way, so everyone has to move now. And Caleb's mum in full cry. And that's how she will be nervous. She is currently singing along to Katy Perry, Firework. Can Caleb Tangitau become a firework in this match? Maybe. Who knows? Only if he scores, though. If he doesn't, he'll become one of those ones. You know the ones that you have, it's like a sparkler that doesn't quite have that same bang to it. Although, to be fair, if your sparkler goes bang, that is not a sparkler. That is dynamite. Now we are ready to go for the little bit longer between these two sides. So I have no idea if it's golden point or whether it is just going to be pretty much getting underway, but that is going to be slapped back. Corey Toole trying to go through. This could be the chance. Australia, they've got the man on the outside. First score wins. Australia have done it. Oh, geez, that's dangerous. He's just almost been dropped on his head, but Australia have been able to win it. And I think it was Henry Patterson with the hat trick. And just like that, it is over. So it was first try wins, but they had 5 minutes of the first half and bigger golden point. And then also we have got there the World 7 Committee. No Samoa and Fiji can play for the final. That's why they changed the decision, because Samoa can beat Australia and Fiji can beat New Zealand. Unbelievable. And there as well, says Maltala. Although they did play each other in the semi-finals, I guess. But Henry Patterson able to do well. And the youngsters in the New Zealand side, they can't quite believe it for that one. And also we've got that. And also, we're going to hope it isn't first to score, not in a final, says Repent. It is indeed. And Corey Toole gets that one and just runs hard. Gives it off to Henry Patterson, who, I mean, he deserves the man of the match performance because he's got a hat trick in this match and he has been scoring for fun throughout the matchup as well. But they haven't actually updated the scoreboard. But Australia, they are going to be taking out the gold and they will move to first on the World Sevens. And tell you what, that was dangerous. Like his teammate just almost flipped him over. No. Aussies can't win on English soil. Organisers, if you can do something about it in Australia, says John. Yeah, very well played by the Australians. Beating Samoa in the semi-finals. Beating South Africa in the quarterfinals. They've had a tough road to this final. And now they have won this game 19 points to 14. And also, bugger, so close, says John there. And now it has only just realised it's extra time. So it will very, very shortly bump it over to the fact that Australia, they are going to be champions in London for the third time. They have been able to beat the Kiwis out of 11 matchups. They'll be very happy with that. And it's probably a majority down to that man, Henry Patterson. Did he score every try for Australia? I think he did. Yes, he did. He got a hat trick and he was able to do beautifully. And then also we got the new Leland. And as I says, Puzzin, currently that is the end of not just this match, but also sevens for about 2 months. But we will be covering the Pacific Island Rugby for the Pacific Nations Cup. Also, we have got Super Rugby coming up, the URC, Gallagher Premiership, International Rugby with the All Blacks tour, with them going head-to-head with Ireland, England versus Australia, South Africa, Wales, and Fiji won the bronze, didn't they? They did indeed. And also bring back Gordon Tidgens. And also we have got the Adan, says Hex, and also well done to both teams, says Roikus. And yeah, extremely close. And tough luck, Kiwis, says Hex. Yeah, easily. Like, that's the thing. When you get to extra time, all it takes is one little mistake, and that is going to be the difference. And Henry Patterson doing brilliantly and doing State of Origin, brother. I think we are. Actually, now that I think about it, that is actually only about a week and a bit away as well. And that will be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, just to avoid any chance of like a copyright strike or anything like that, just because I know that sometimes just using the word State of Origin do end up getting you in trouble. What was your team you vote? And there it says, Pazan, for me, I mean, I was going to say it was going to be split by about 5 or less, but I wasn't going to say it was going to extra time. All right, and also Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and Samoa in the top 4. So then so once again proving they're the kings of the rugby sevens. Says Sebastian, and also now won't be able to sleep, says John. And also we have got the awesome, says Nazi Williams, and also we'll smack him in the 15s per usual, is Chief. But yeah, we have got plenty of sport coming up, not just on this channel, but also Kiwi Lads Sport is the other one. And that channel is currently getting closer and closer to the 1,000. I believe it's on about 930. So if you do want to help us out, it is that link in the chat, and we will have plenty more videos, not just to do with rugby, but also in general sport. All sorts. I can't see Australia win against New Zealand. They always beat in cricket, and now rugby too very angry, says Coding there. And 5:25 a.m. in Auckland waits for Bakey to open. And there says Nazi Williams. Yeah, we're currently very early here in New Zealand. So a few Kiwis, I know that we're going to have people who wake up and they'll see the score and just be very sad. Well, then also give us a Pukana before you sign off. I feel like I'm not the best representation. I know a little bit of Maori, only from school, which is homai irima, which means high five. And then you go katahi kona kata kata, which is just kidding. I learned that in a term of Maori. That's about it. Really, and also, yes, Southern Hemisphere strong, and also Bakery, sorry, says Nazi Williams, and also click like and subscribe if you know, and also we have got the England versus Black Caps and the next stream in it. That is very true. It's coming up extremely soon. We got any other games before that? I don't think so. So yeah, it will actually be the test match coming up just around the corner and stuck in cheese, baby. Says Nazi Williams. Oh, now I really want a pie. We don't have any pies. I think I've got like chips. And I was like, bro, you roll your R's. Well, says Nazi Williams. Sometimes I get myself in trouble with too much tongue roll. Like there's a normal name like Richard, and I'll just be like Richard, and it just really annoys me when the tongue gets stuck, because like doing like Spanish names, Argentinian, South African, you kind of get in there. Sound like I was trying to start maybe a rap album. And Cut by Amish says, Nathan there, also over there, click like and subscribe if you know, and also please don't forget to smash that like button. And there as well says repeat, and also we get the prediction for Black Cats versus England Test Series. Can the Black Cats win the Test Series 3-0? I think they win 2-1, but I think it's a bit closer. England will take one. I just haven't worked out which one yet. Actually, drawn series, 1-1 each, and then a draw. Maybe. Who knows? It depends on the weather. If it's really bad, we might have like a full day of rain, which hopefully is not the case. Hopefully it is going to be bright and sunny and beautiful for those ones. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Hope you did enjoy all of the Sevens coverage that we have had. We've got plenty more rugby coming up. The quarterfinals of the URC coming up this weekend. Same with quarterfinals of the Super Rugby. Very proficient with the tongue. Need to update your dating profile, mate. And there. Says Sebastian, maybe I do. You know, I haven't actually got one, so I'll probably have to start one first, and you're going to blow, or you got to blow on your pie. Says John, and also we've got there, Polly's and Maoris respect you. And yeah, because you pronounce the Polly names right, we shout your beer and a pie one day. And there says Nazi Williams. I mean, I'll take both of those at this stage, even though it is an early morning. We would definitely go for a pie. I don't know what time. What time does the bakery in my town open? One moment. It opens at 8 a.m. That doesn't seem early enough for a bakery, but 8 a.m. I will be asleep by then. Hope they do tea time. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and please stand 7. See your team. Says it was John there. Yeah, nonetheless, I guess I will see you all for the next one. I will continue talking until I click that end broadcast button, to be honest. I can like talk all morning. Probably shouldn't, because or else then my voice will be gone for George's recording tomorrow. And also Lyle says Nazi, and also we got there, thanks. And then no worries at all. And thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. It wouldn't have been the same doing the Sevens without every single one of you being here. And also thanks so much. You got great energy, mate. Says Nazi Williams. And yeah, I'm probably going to pretty much straight away, I'll probably fall asleep as soon as I try and step off the live stream. Like I'll be like, I'll see you all for the next one, slide back, and then just out to it. But hopefully I make it to my bed. It's quite a far walk though. It's like around the hallway. Got to have a shower as well, probably, because I've been up all night, so I feel like I need to go to sleep. But also about time, says Alan. And there for the Australians being able to win it, I assume, or maybe about time that I finish the live stream, possibly as the case. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Check out the Kiwi Lad Sport, like I mentioned, and I will see you all for the